every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Welcome in to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. WoodwardSports.com. Whatever you're watching on, appreciate you guys always. Beautiful Wednesday, and guess what today is?
Hump Day!
Hump Day, baby! I made a big mistake today. I got my days mixed up. I ordered dinner tonight, and I ordered tacos. I thought it was Tuesday. And then I realized very fast once I got the food, I started eating, or I was about to eat, and I was like, dude, it's Wednesday, Booner. What are we doing here?
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know, you're going to counteract that with something tomorrow?
I don't know. How do you even
We're
counteract
going to have a glass
that?
of wine tonight for Wine Wednesday.
Okay, maybe I'll do that, actually.
You know? Maybe
Yeah.
a Spanish wine to
Okay.
kind of merge Tuesday
I don't
and
have
Wednesday.
any Spanish wine, but I can find some. I'm
There's
sure.
probably a little beer and wine at a little liquor store on the way home.
Open as late as we get off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually they are.
All right, I'll get some Spanish wine to make sure it's all good then. Or maybe I'll just get like a margarita. Oh,
Jalapenos
go all
and
in
Pontiac.
on Taco Wednesday.
Jalapenos and Pontiac. No free shout out, no free shout out. Is that what Bustin' with the Boys says?
That is, it is. Hey,
Shout out, no free shout out.
welcome in, though. We appreciate you guys. Hit the like button as you guys come in. Share the show with someone. Tell someone about the show. Booner, as always, Matt Broder, Detroit Lions beat reporter. KG, how we doing over there in the TD booth?
Apparently, I just broke the microphone, but
Oh,
I'm
no.
doing good. It's been a long day, man. But
no.
we in here working. You know what it is.
Just a little flaccid.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, we got Nick over in the sound booth. Nick, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Broder, is Wine Wednesday is that a regular occurrence in the Broder household?
Not recently. When I had my own no, not recently.
Okay.
But I'm a fan of Wine
You used
Wednesday.
to do
I
it
don't
when you
hate
had your
it.
own
I don't
place.
hate it, but
Yeah.
hey, let's go, boys. We are one day closer to Moneyline Sunday because that's what the Lions are doing. We're going into San Francisco to win on that money line. Let's go, baby.
It is championship Sunday because you're going to win a
Yes,
championship.
sir.
There we go,
Money
Nick.
line
We were
championship.
but we're not wearing red on Sunday.
No,
Hell
I'm not wearing
no.
red all
Nada.
week.
Yeah.
Nada. Well, that's your old school. Bless you. Gesundheit, which means healthiness in German.
Oh. All right, I'm all good.
Saginaw Valley State.
Saginaw Valley State. Shout out the boys.
You can rep
man.
your own team, but no red on Sunday.
Okay,
And Nike
deal.
dropped Tiger Woods, so
Yeah, that is messed up. We got a packed show for you guys, though, actually, today. Probably our most packed show of the week, up to date so far, because Broder was in Allen Park. It was the first time that kind of availability opened up for NFC Championship weekend. And I'm sure that there was a lot of people
what
there.
was the first thing I texted you today? Something like it was a mob scene down
Yes.
there. National media everywhere.
I started seeing national media that I have my alerts on. Typically, like those are the biggest people. Those people were I saw putting pictures in Allen Park in the same room and place you sit every single week. So we do have a lot of different things. Dan Campbell came out and talked on the podium, so we have some videos from that. We don't have a video of it, but you personally spoke with CJ Garner-Johnson, Kendall Vildor. No video, is kind of just a conversation about this defense. So we're going to talk about that at 8:30. I do have a Dan Campbell video to counteract that. 8:45, Decker and Frank. Taylor Decker and Frank gave some credit to some young guys on this team, and I wanted to kind of dive into that a little bit. And we're going to have a lot of videos today, guys. That's just what it is. There's so many people who were on the podium today, so many coaches, a bunch of players, and on top of that, the locker room was open, so we were able to go into the guys were able to go in the locker room. 9:15, actually, we're going to take some callers. We haven't actually spoke to the people since they've gone to the NFC Championship game. I would like to hear from one or two people, just a couple people, and just kind of get the temperature, maybe 3 or 4, the temperature of the room. 9:30, I saw a tweet about potentially Lions fans taking over Levi Stadium.
Lions fans?
I saw a percentage of the stadium that's going to get taken over this early in the week already. So we'll do that 9:30, 9:40 offensive line. But breaking news, Nick, can we just get I don't know if you guys heard yet, and I'm sure I keep seeing it in the chat here. Former Michigan head coach, now former Jim Harbaugh, has moved on to the NFL. He is headed to Los Angeles, out there to the West Coast for the Chargers job. Just absolutely wild. You know what? And me and KG, we were talking about it before the show, before everyone showed up. I'm not shocked that it happened. Like it was something that we knew it was possibly most likely going to happen. I did think there was a chance, though, he returned to Michigan.
I was really feeling like he was too.
Shut up and take my money.
The majority probably thought he was going, and I get it. I understand why. I just had this striking suspicion that he was going to stay. Like, now that Nick Saban's gone, it just seemed like The program was, despite the possible infractions and the continued investigation, like the program was back on track, and it's a good chance for Harbaugh to take over as that next possible greatest college football coach after Nick Saban. But the Chargers he goes.
And I was thinking about this too, and he may, and I wish him all the success. Like, he is the greatest Michigan coach of all time. I think that's very, very well known. No one can argue that. He is the best to ever do it in the black end, man. Like, no one will be better. But with that being said, I'm interested because if he stayed at Michigan, he could be there forever, and he could solidify his legacy. Like you said, he can kind of be that next Nick Saban. He could be there
forever.
You are a baseball guy.
Forever.
Let's make some s'mores. But with that being said, though, I think there's a side of me to where it's, hey, he's not guaranteed to go win a Super Bowl, and I would love for him to go do that. If it's not at the Detroit Lions' expense, I would love for him to have as much success as he can at the pro level. But if he doesn't, or if he gets one Super Bowl, or he's there for 4 or 5 years or 6 years and he doesn't get anything out of it, and he's just a couple playoff runs and no Super Bowl, to me that's just not worth it. Like,
agreed.
It's not worth it, because at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, you could say, oh, you can come back to Michigan because he's the best ever. Can he though? Like,
no.
You can't just keep flopping back and forth, and go to the NFL when you want. Come back to Michigan, go to the NFL. And you can't start that trend, because if you come back to Michigan, you're probably going to be gone soon as well. So I don't know. I think for him, he should have stayed and just kept this thing rolling. Like, you have right now, you're building a small dynasty. You're building a dynasty. You had an opportunity to do that. But I'm not going to – I'm going to be grateful for it. I'm going to be grateful. Nick?
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it, Booner. He came there to Michigan for one reason, and it was to restore this program to the promised land, where they have not been since 97, where they haven't been a single champion since like the 20s or 40s or whatever it was. So Jim Harbaugh came to Michigan, and he did that. What happens after? He leaves a little bit of a stank on the program, but he leaves with a national championship, and that's all that matters in my eyes. Thank you, Jim, for everything. Good luck in the NFL. I want to pass this one to the guys on the desk, though. Next man up.
Yeah, so...
And is that man Sharon Moore? I want to pass just first thoughts. Obviously, this happened within the last hour. What are you guys' thoughts here?
Real quick, Nick, I don't want to cut you off with that. I appreciate you asking that question. We'll get to that. I wanted to bring this up, though, too, in the chat. I see people putting Jesse Minter. John U. Bacon tweeted this out about an hour ago at 7-Eleven.
A former professor.
Yep. Oh, really? Yeah. So he tweeted this out, and he knows he's pretty kind of in the
he's
mix
in
with
the
this.
know of Michigan.
I saw this a few days ago, actually, too. So I'm guessing this is all true, but I saw it a few days ago that if Jim did go to the NFL, and especially at Los Angeles at that, most likely he was going to take defensive coordinator Jesse Minter and his son Jay Harbaugh, which are two big pieces, right? Like, those are two big pieces. And John U. Bacon put the same thing here in this tweet about an hour ago. He said DC, Jesse Minter, and Jay Harbaugh will likely join Harbaugh in LA. He also put in here, and I don't know how much he knows, and I'm sure there's going to be a process of it. He said he thinks OC Sharon Moore is a lock to become head coach. And I think the same thing. To Nick's question, I think you elevate him. Mm-hmm. You saw what he could do, the emotions, like what it means to him to be the head coach. He's went out there for those months and those games and proved himself. Mm-hmm. The only thing we don't know is the recruiting, which I'm sure he's a good recruiter if he's the OC and he's out there doing stuff. So
you know what needs to be his first? Hypothetically, Sharon Moore gets named head coach of the University of Michigan football team. What does his first move need to be? You go to Ward Manuel's office. You go make Jesse Minter the highest paid defensive coordinator in the country and stay for 1 year.
I'm going to tell you what.
1 year just to transition. I'm not saying it's going to happen because I do believe he'll go with Harbaugh. Or if Mike McDonald, the Baltimore Ravens DC, gets a job, if he doesn't go with Harbaugh, he'll go to the Baltimore Ravens. But I think for 1 year, especially with a transition like this, they got dudes coming back like Jesse Minter. Stay for 1 more year. Let Sharon Moore transition into that role as the highest paid DC in the league. Like, you got to give him some.
I agree. I think you need to do everything you can to keep Jesse Minter there. But if they couldn't keep Jim Harbaugh there with whatever the contract was, I don't see a
totally different situation.
It is, but I see Jim being like, they already have had conversations where him and Jesse are like, hey, you can come with me.
Probably.
Especially if you can go get the Ravens one. He's not going to go to John. He would rather go, and Jim's not going to say no to Jesse Minter. Yeah. Like, he's not going to.
As important as he is to Jim and John, it's the same reason why I think Sharon needs to do whatever he can to keep him there, because he's going to be in the NFL someday.
Yeah, I see here. Oh my gosh, I don't know how trustworthy Big Game Boomer Twitter account is. I don't know if it's like a troll one, but here's the Michigan head coaching candidates: Sharon Moore, number 2, Brian Kelly.
It actually might be serious. I hope it doesn't happen, but that's a legitimate consideration.
Down the line here,
owns Northwest, or I guess Notre Dame. He had a great run there, but
number 5 is Luke Fickell, 7 Jesse Minter, 8 James Franklin, 9 Dan Lanning, and 10 Dabo Sweeney.
I'm cool on everybody besides. I mean, I would take.
I
don't
want James Franklin.
I would take the Oregon coach, but
for
I like
sure.
our
He's not
guys in our
leaving it.
system. But you guys think about Broder. You made a great point there. We have Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, Will Johnson, Ernest Hausman. You think about this just stacked defense that we have coming back.
Yeah.
If we could retain Minter for one more year, it would make life transitioning without Harbaugh so much easier, especially with this stacked schedule. We have All-American after All-American coming back on this defense. We need a coach to coach them, so hopefully Minter can stay for 1 year.
Definitely. I'm thinking maybe Mike Hart gets promoted to offensive coordinator.
I could see it.
But you got to keep him. None of those coaches really blow me away. It's got to be Sharon Moore or bust. I mean, there might be a name that pops out. Dan Lanning doesn't really do it for me. And in this day of NIL, why would you leave Oregon? Why would you leave Phil Knight's school? They got money out not that Michigan doesn't, but
yeah,
it's tough. I don't know. Sharon Moore, I think it is.
Well, Dan
one
Lanning
less spot
declined the Bama job,
Yeah.
so he's definitely not coming to Michigan.
Yeah, so one less job for Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. One less job. Yeah, one less NFL head coaching job for one of those guys. So, hey, maybe throw out the idea of Jesse Minter to the Detroit Lions.
I saw a comment here. Where did it go?
While you're finding that comment, I want to
Booner.
pose one to you guys.
PJ Fleck. No way. That was the comic.
Oh.
I'm sorry. No, bro.
Leader of
I
men.
promise
Leader
you,
of men.
he couldn't lead Minnesota to a bowl game. I promise you, he's not going to be in Michigan.
I maybe try to go get the Purdue
It'd be
head
He can
coach.
come over here and
the
be
old
a
one?
coordinator.
The old one?
The one who produced
Fromm, is
Kirby
it?
and freaking Sidney Brown and Kurt Whittier. I don't know. I know they had a horrible year. We don't need to get into that too deep.
Was it Jeff Fromm that went to Louisville?
We don't want any other
went
Big
to-
Ten coaches that failed.
No, he succeeded and then went to Louisville and almost had an undefeated season. if I'm
We
not
don't want him.
Okay, but all right, I had a question for you guys. Nick Saban leaves. A lot of recruits, a lot of transfers follow. Is this a serious concern for Michigan? I mean, in this day and age, in the transfer portal and recruiting.
No, you just
You
won a
take-
national championship, and I'm sure a lot of those guys and a lot of the recruits already had an idea. I'm sure Jim just did it out of nowhere, kind of like Saban just out of nowhere retired, and no one was expecting it. The last 3 years, Harbaugh's been in these conversations. Like, like if you're a recruit, you knew that this was going to come at some point. And I'm sure within those conversations, Sharon Moore's spoken with every player in the last 4 weeks. I'm sure this is it's not like a Saban where everyone just out of nowhere, Saban retired. Like, it's not that. It's you knew this was coming.
For sure. Sounds
Broder,
good.
why did you do that? What are we doing?
What?
Said,
All right, let's keep
Lions
this
talk
thing-
incoming.
Yeah, let's keep this thing going. A couple things before we do go to break, though. Actually, we'll just do it when we come back. We'll just push everything back. We'll kind of do our intro here when we
Back
come
that
back.
thing up.
All right, let's go to break. When we come back, some Lions stuff. Amon-Ra St. Brown talked about the Craig Reynolds play. Said something about him. I mean, you had that conversation a couple days ago. Barry Sanders,
Genius mistake.
the Barry one?
No.
Oh, the Craig Reynolds thing?
Still
Yeah.
a genius mistake.
It's crazy. I can't believe it happened because Dan said something completely different too in his press conference. So we're going to get into that. A couple Skip Bayless things, and as well as the injury report out of Allen Park. A couple guys out today, which I don't think it's too concerning.
Nothing to worry about.
But
We'll report it.
Look at it and we'll talk
Little
about it a
walkthrough
little
day.
bit. Let me tell you guys about Lady Jane's though. Come over to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning experience. Make sure you guys register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That is right. No expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. You can take the whole room with you here if you win it. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime for this nice little mullet here. Shout out Lady Jane's. It is wicked awesome.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. WoodwardSports.com. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Everyone hit it. Make sure you guys, we'll get to, let's say 150 by the end of the first hour here.
You guys enjoyed my voice last night.
Adam Morrissey said tailgate wins. Nick, wonder if Braylon Edwards would try his hand at coaching Michigan football. Thoughts on that?
My thoughts, I feel like I'd be the last guy to ask in here, but I think Braylon would be a great coach if he wanted to go that route, but I don't know if Braylon wants to go that route. You'd have to ask the 2 to 4 p.m. show on that one.
Yeah,
Great
Braylon
answer.
that one. That was a great one.
Fantastic answer.
That
I
was
wouldn't
a
want to
great
be
one.
a college football head coach.
Denver
In this
Blair.
new era.
Denver Blair said Boone should do the Hutchinson cut with the hair. I think he's saying shave your head off.
Oh, no, not till something happens that is a negative on the Lions season.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I'm with you on that.
Can't win with them. Can't do it.
Cannot. I'm keeping this mullet is until the season's over. Let's get this thing rolling here. Some Detroit Lions stuff. First of all, do you guys remember the Craig Reynolds touchdown? Obviously in the fourth quarter. I think it was the fourth quarter, the biggest play of the game, right?
It was the first quarter.
Was it the first? Fourth down? Oh yeah, because St.
Yeah.
Brown was the fourth.
Yeah,
My bad.
yeah, all
First
good.
quarter, I mixed them around. The first quarter.
It was that important, though.
It was, and we had the conversation where Dan actually went on Dan went on his press conference and said he basically came out and was just like, yeah, that was just this formation that we had him in, like that was the set, like we practiced with him in that. And I was like a little like, okay, like you guys called it, and he was like, yeah, I trust him, so it doesn't matter. So like the way Dan said it, and me and you had this conversation, we did like almost a whole segment on it, like saying how Dan trusts guys like Craig Reynolds and this
Freaking
and that.
genius.
Comes out where Amon-Ra St. Brown on his podcast, and KG, do we have that video?
Yep, we do.
He came out and said he wasn't even supposed to be in the game the whole time. They just had the whole wrong set. They had everything was wrong. They ran the wrong play. Everything was wrong, and Craig Reynolds was not even supposed to be on the field. And St. Brown was confused. He said he looked behind him and was like, wait a second. What are we doing right now?
What are we doing?
So here's Amon-Ra St. Brown and his brother. And can we do a 3-shot on this? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can switch it to the
Three-way, baby.
That was
Let's
just
go.
so we can react to it. So just
give me
just
one
want
It's a
second.
mustache ride.
Give me 1 second.
Bro.
You know what? Let me hit that.
Thank you, my fellow mustacher.
No,
I love their podcast, by the way.
Great. Yeah, it's great.
It's not exactly super high energy, but it's just guys who play football and brothers just talking.
Yeah, just the dudes going back and
Yeah.
forth.
You know when they get the most high energy on it? When they're talking touchdown celebrations. St.
Tutties.
Brown loves talking celebrations.
St. Brown
so
is an elite
I know.
touchdown. He might be the best in the league.
He's going to want to get in that end zone for this NFC Championship game.
Oh, yeah. And here it is. You guys will react to it with you guys here. Here's St. Brown talking about that Craig Reynolds touchdown.
I want to ask you, that Craig Reynolds touchdown was crazy. Crazy call. Love it.
Bro, you know what's crazy? He wasn't even supposed to be in.
Really?
Bruh.
What was he in?
Bro, we had a different personnel got messed up. So we're in there. We're calling a play. It was fourth down. So, but third down we didn't get it, and then we're on the sideline. I'm waiting for Dan to say like go for fourth down. Sure enough, he's like, we're going for it. So they call personnel. I think it said like 12, whatever. I go in, and then they change it to like 12 Saint, which makes me go to X, and I think J Ray go to Z. So at that point they're probably changing the play in the headset. And then Craig comes running on the field. I'm like, damn, okay. And I'm thinking it's one play that we practiced And then it's a different play. I'm like, okay, this play works. This is the 12th same play where I motion. So I'm ready to motion. It's just a regular run play. And I'm waiting for Jared to send me. But I see, like, behind me in my peripheral, I see white cleats. I'm like, David and Jameer don't wear white cleats. I'm like, who? It was just a quick thought in my head, like, who's in the backfield? So I'm just going for the motion. He sends me on the motion. I go on my motion. I look back at the play. I see Craig get the ball on the handoff on the 1 yard line. He hit that bitch so hard. I'm like, oh, my God, Craig, you wasn't that bad, huh? He's like, bro. He's like, no one will stop me. I'm like, yeah, I mean, you got that shit crazy. And it was the wrong personnel, bro. It was supposed to be a different play.
I thought you did it on purpose.
A different play, so it got messed up in transit. Craig got the. I'm happy. I'm happy it happened for him. Shit,
me too.
You guys heard it there.
That's
they
great.
wasn't even supposed to be on the field in the play, and he ends up going out there and getting the touchdown.
I'm wondering.
That's crazy.
What did Equinemius see that was like that touchdown? That Craig Reynolds touchdown was crazy. Like it was a. I mean, there was some stuff that was going on, but a relatively standard run up the middle in between the left tackle, right guard, or right guard and center.
How did he
like
react? I guess I missed that.
He set it up like Amon-Ra or whatever he said. Like, dude, that Craig Reynolds touchdown, that was crazy. What was up with that?
Well, you know what it is. I think what it is I think St. Brown and Craig are pretty good friends.
Yeah,
and I think like his brother as well is friends with Craig Reynolds.
See,
I think they're like a little group to where they're friends to where he's like, that was crazy. Like, because Craig, you got to think about it. Craig's only had one career touchdown. And that was earlier this year in a game to where they were like, go get one so he can get his first ever. So the fact like a playoff touchdown is like that much bigger.
Playoffs.
So the fact that he got a playoff one, and them being like close friends, he was probably like, how about Craig doing that?
Yeah, and it's
huge,
nothing
huge
against
for
Craig, nothing against Craig at all. Got a ton of respect, but playoffs, 4th down, 4th and 2, 4th and 1, or 4th and 2. Like that's why you signed David Montgomery. That exact specific scenario.
Yeah,
only.
And he's and they said it there. He's a guy out that just catches balls out of the backfield most of the time, unless he needs to. And that like when he's in the game there, you're expecting a pass. Like that's what was happening.
That's why we thought it was genius.
You were expecting him to be pass blocking or setting something up there. Like that was just what it was. So
that's why I thought it was so smart.
And they didn't even mean to do it.
Yeah,
they didn't even mean to do it.
Yeah.
Another thing too here, Barry Sanders. Did you guys see this?
I didn't see the actual clip or what Skip Bayless said, but it started getting viral. Like anyone who says Barry Sanders is overrated is.
So I had the graphic. So basically what happened, Skip Bayless came out and said that Barry Sanders, like of all people to go at.
Was this before Jared Goff clapped at Skip?
And I don't know. I don't know the timeline of it. All I know is I saw this and I was shocked. And Barry Sanders said, Skip Bayless thinks I'm overrated. I would not really worry about anything that guy says. Go Detroit.
That's crazy.
Skip Bayless is a clown, dude.
Who we think better, Emmitt Smith? Come on now. Miss me with
that's
that.
probably what it is because he's a Cowboys guy.
Miss me with that.
Maybe.
That's probably exactly what it is.
When you make comments like, I just want to see the explanation. Like, okay, you say Barry Sanders is overrated. Why? Like, what are you pulling from? All he has to say, all he can say, and it still doesn't validate anything, is that he doesn't have a Super Bowl. Yeah. But like, I'm pretty sure 99% of any other person who knows football has the best running back of all time.
Clickbait, man.
He's like the greatest ever. I don't know what Skip Bayless overrated.
Just clickbait.
Yeah, that's the thing that I've gotten mad at a lot recently, especially with the Lions this year, because so many people are like trying to clickbait against the Detroit Lions, and that's
weird,
like
right?
one of them. It's like, oh, they realize the Detroit Lions are relevant and they're in the news, so they're like, oh, let's try and clickbait against them. And it's like, dude, why don't you just leave us alone? How about that?
Yeah,
that's all I ask. Leave us alone. Yeah,
is that it is?
Yeah, you know.
No trolling.
If it's just nonsense.
Skip's still mad about that 91 playoff game, man.
That's nonsense. But like about that 90 nonsense.
Nonsense.
That's
all kind of our like intro stuff there. I know we had to push everything back because of Jim Harbaugh. Like, that news was crazy. Let's do this injury report.
Yeah.
Broder, I'll let you kind of dive into this a little bit and explain. You were in Allen Park today. Vibes
were incredible. I mean, it was wild, but the crew of players that we got to see in the locker room, and it wasn't like the full team because they got so many different things they're doing. They were loose. They were Part of them, they were sitting on the couches watching the interviews that were going on in the other room, in the media room where we normally are. The other part was watching Maury Povich. It was just like a very, there are a couple guys who play cards. It was just a normal day in that locker room. As soon as you step, other than a handful more cameras, you step out. There's cameras everywhere, interviews going on. It was wild.
Did you meet anyone cool today?
I met Stacey Dales was the first person I walked up. We both got to the door at the same time, and I got to let her into the building. With the little fingerprint, the Face ID scan.
You have a Face ID there?
Oh yeah.
Could you explain who that is for us, please?
She's NFL Network. Stacey Dale's NFL Network.
Let him cook.
I didn't
Broder.
get to talk to her, but I just said hi.
Anyone else?
Oh, I see what you're doing.
She give you any?
It was all the big national. ESPN was there. NFL Network.
Okay.
I'm sure NBC was there.
Okay.
They don't all have the things on the cameras, but there was just It was.
Any specifics?
Yeah, the Boogeyman was there. The Loch Ness Monster showed his face. Nate Sudfeld was there. He was.
Shout out.
Got to meet Zach Ertz.
Shout out, Zach Ertz.
Yeah, see you trying to bait me.
I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just
You
trying to
are
be
a
a man.
master.
I'm trying to do something.
Baiter.
I'm trying to do something for the people, man. I'm trying to get
FTP.
something. Here's the injury report, though. If you guys see it there, and Broder, I'm going to go through it, and then I'll let you react to it, and then I'll hit you after with it, and I'll give my thoughts. Jonah Jackson today, no practice. We know he's probably going to be out for the week at least. Sam Laporta, no practice. My guess, this is a rest day. I know it says knee. I'm guessing let that man rest that knee, please. Frank Ragnow, ankle, toe, knee, back. Jesus, Frank. Come on, Frank. Everything. They might as well just put full body there. He has no practice today. Khalif Raymond, no practice. Anzo limited with his shoulder/ribs. He should be fine. Reynolds, ribs, limited practice. What's that?
Anzalone?
No, Josh Reynolds. Why is he on
I can't read. He's banged up. He hurt his ribs in one of the last 2 weeks. Honestly, I believe, and we didn't really go over this in much detail today because they didn't practice. It was just a walk through Wednesday, White Boy Wednesday. It's just not a day off, but they're all hurt. I don't know why it's necessarily on the practice report. I wouldn't look too much into it. I mean, I guess you could a little bit because he's on there and not. But I fully expect Josh Reynolds. He'll be out there on Sunday.
Matt B said Ragnow gets all week off.
I never said that.
No, Matt. Yeah, okay. In the Woodward Sports chat. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Another question I have for you too. Did you hear anything today about Khalif Raymond?
No.
Nothing.
No.
Did you see him today?
No.
Damn.
Wonder what's going on with Khalif. That's
Hopefully
the
one more tomorrow.
That's one where I would really hope that he gets back because he is like as much as like he's not like a star player, but he's definitely a glue guy in the offense and on special teams to where
he's someone the defense just has to be ready for. Like you see, anytime he touches the ball, it's like a 20, 30-yard gain on a new play that we've seen, whether it's an end around or some funky pass that Jared Goff finds him. He makes big plays, and it's maybe one a game, but he does make a big play. So you're right. It's key.
This as well, G-Man said, James Houston, full practice. Go get yourself some of that. I will say this. James Houston has been on the practice report for the last 3 weeks. He has been full practice for like 2 or 3 weeks now. He has been on the practice report as full practice. All that it comes down to is I think his injury is fine. I think it's just, it's the theory that I keep going back to that I've said 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's Dan's not going to let him play until he can be 100%. And he's trying to get his feet under him and trying to get back in shape and just trying to get that. And I think they're sticking to it because you're in the playoffs. Like you cannot have James Houston at 60%. Like and that's not like 60% injury like some guys. That's 60% being in like shape and game shape. And like you need to be at 100% game shape in the playoffs or you're just not going to affect the game at all. There's no point. So I think that's all it is. If I'm being honest, I think that's the extent of that one.
They're tough on letting the guys get out there before they feel that they're ready, whether it's injury, conditioning, or just trust being in the right spot on the field. That's probably number one. We don't know exactly what it is, but I would be shocked beyond belief if James Houston didn't play this weekend. That's why you put him on the active roster and you didn't just put him on the IR. You expect him to contribute before the end of the season. Last I checked, there's 1 game to go. There's no guarantee of a second one.
Yeah.
Use that, man.
Let's do this. Let's go. When we come back, we're going to get into some Dan Campbell stuff. Before we do the Dan Campbell stuff, I had a video and I forgot to put it in Slack of Zach Ertz. So I want to do a video of Zach Ertz because he talked about him coming into Detroit and his insight on it. I think a lot of people are going to like it, to be honest. It's not like he's coming in to go score touchdowns. He doesn't even care if he plays, to be honest. He just is here to help out. So we're going to go to break. When we come back, we'll talk Zach Ertz, some Dan Campbell. We'll keep this thing rolling. I said we got a lot of videos for you guys today. Broder was in Allen Park all day with every single Detroit Lions player and coach. He shook every single one of their hands.
I said, thank you for the city.
Thank you for the
We
Booner Path.
appreciate you.
Thank you for supporting the Booner Path.
Yes, I said that.
All right, love it. All right, let me tell you guys about Big Boy. It is winter time in Detroit. It is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl. If you want some breakfast, try the new stuffed potato pancakes. They are back. They have the classic lumberjack or the Santa Fe Garden. You see them above me right there. Also, the new apple pie hotcakes. They are too good to miss. Top it all off with the new gingerbread shake for dessert. Make sure for all of that, stop over by your local Big Boy today.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Booner, what happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You're going to leave me hanging like that? You expand, you offer more products to more people. Come on, that's exactly what Les Stanford did when they added Les Stanford Buick GMC. They still got the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. They're on Woodward Ave, just south of 9 Mile Road. So check out Les Stanford Dearborn today. Find the brand you want, lesstanford.com.
All right, welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. All the fun stuff. Hit that like button for us. If you're doing anything for us right now, hit the like button. You can get a membership in the chat, all of that. Hit the like button as well.
Smash it.
Smash it. Just like Nick is saying, Mario over there. You do sound like Mario a little bit when you do that voice.
Smash it.
Yeah, not going to lie. Before we get into the Dan Campbell stuff, though, Broder.
Yes.
The breaking news today, Zach Ertz was was in the building for the first time, basically, with the team, getting incorporated with everything. Dan Campbell came out and did say that he's basically he's good to go technically. He's in shape. He's in game shape, which I said a couple days ago when they signed him. I said, I bet you he's already in game shape. That's not something you have to worry about. He's just kind of getting a glimpse of the offense, getting things together. And he did have an interesting kind of little conversation here with the reporters. I thought this was great.
Phenomenal.
This is like when we're talking about bringing guys in, the impact guys make, whether it's on the field or off the field. A guy like this that's won a Super Bowl and bringing this impact to the guys that are making a run right now. This is exactly this is worth. If you pay him $1 million for this couple weeks, worth it because it doesn't affect next year's salary. Take a listen real quick to what Zach Ertz had to say about being in Detroit.
I'm excited to be a part of it. I have no expectations coming in and what my role will be. I don't expect anything handed to me. Obviously,
I want to earn whatever reps I get. I'm not here to start any drama or cause any subordination per se. I'm just here to support the guys and however I can, hopefully teach Sam or some of these young tight ends some things and play to the best of my abilities if my number's called.
How quickly can you get up to speed?
I'm confident that I can get up to speed quickly from a mental standpoint. It's just how much they want to put on me. I played in a lot of different offenses in my 11 years now, so I'm confident to pick it up mentally, but at the same time, I'm just getting the basics right now. So we'll see how Thursday, Friday go. There's a long way to go to the game, but I'm just excited to be here.
Oh, yeah.
You guys heard it there. If that doesn't pump you up to have a guy like that in your locker room going forward, like for the night, this last two-game run here, I love that. Were you there when he was talking and saying all that?
Yeah.
You had to feel like some energy, like this man's a pro.
Yeah. The videos I sent in our group chat. He everything he said was the perfect thing you want a teammate to say.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to get the most he's not going to give you anything clickbait worthy, and he's not going to give you a board. Like, it was everything you want someone coming in at this point in the season, at this position, this situation. Hey, I'm going to come in, whatever they need from me, I'll do. If the young guys want me to mentor them, I hope I can give some tips from my experience. If they play me or don't play me this weekend, I don't care. I just want to help this team get to the finish line, go get themselves a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and to be honest, like through that interview there, like he mentioned, like I just want to help Sam, I want to help Laporte, or I want to help Amon-Ra St. Brown, I want to help D-Mont. Like he was like, I want to help these guys be ready for these games, because these are games where some of the majority of these guys on this team haven't played in. And if you have a guy like Jared Goff in there helping guys out, now you have Zach Ertz in there saying, hey, this is what you need to look at, this is what you need to do. Just leadership as much as you can have. On the other side, like earlier when they brought Bruce Irvin in, like there's just like there's something about that. And then there's just a cherry on top if he's able to play this Sunday, which I do believe he's going to play Sunday without Brock Wright. I have a feeling like Zach Ertz he's one of the best that's tight ends in the league in the last 10 years. Like he's been very, very good. Even if he's not extremely productive, I think he's going to end up getting snaps, because I think like you can trust him to go out there and make plays and block. And if you need a quick route or you need something, he can do that for you. So I'm excited to see him. That was exciting. When I listened to that, I wanted to run through a brick wall.
Yeah, and since he's Travis Kelce's doppelganger, if they meet the Chiefs in the playoffs, there'll be a little distraction for Miss Swift.
T-Swift, baby.
Just throw Travis Kelce off his game a little bit.
That's just every show we have to say Taylor at least once.
Yeah.
No disrespect to his wife, Julie, either, though.
You knew it the whole time. We were talking about it on the break. You didn't say anything.
U.S. Women's National Team gold medalist.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out. I think Zach Ertz is going to do everything to help this team as he can as a mentor, like you guys spoke to. But don't be surprised if you see him in a couple of those Brock Wright roles like I hit on earlier in the week, where he sneaks out and maybe gets a big 30-yarder, 35-yarder in a big situation, big touchdown, when Laporta is on the other side getting all that other attention.
They're not going to throw to him.
Exactly.
He's so new.
I like that. No, I'm with you guys. I think that's the same thing. I think he's going to end up playing snaps. As much as they're saying, like, he maybe it's some gamesmanship where he's saying, hey, I don't know if I will. I'll see how involved I get. And they know that he's going to get used. Want to kind of turn the page here to the Dan Campbell stuff. He was on the podium today and talked about how this is going to be like an outstanding test for this team. Have a couple videos from him, Broder. I want to play. The first one, he talked about how this team's built for this. I don't know if it's you and you're in these rooms. When he talks about getting ready for games, like these first week, like at the beginning of the week, he has multiple, but that first one when he's talking about a game, and especially a game this big, it sounds like I'm the most confident. Like I'm all week I'm nervous, and I'll hear him talk, and I'm like, hey, there's no way they lose this football game.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Even that quote, you break it down, it's like, all right, we're not done with our preparation. We're not done with the work we have to do. Like, the job's not finished in this week, but we're going to be ready for it. I know that. I'm going to have my guys ready for it. Like, that's what
every week, and especially in a week like this, man, he doesn't care about all the cameras and everything. He's like, they're going to be ready for it, and we are built for this. Here's Dan Campbell talking about being built for this.
And you have to be able to handle the ebbs and flows of a game in a season and playoffs. And that's what has been built for 3 years now. And so that's what gives me faith. Look, there's going to be things that are going to happen in this game that it's going to look like it's out of control. And it's not going to go well for us. And as long as we just play the next play, it'll turn. And That's what we've done all year. And that's the most important thing to keep in mind. But you got to be made a certain way, and the team has to be made a certain way to be able to handle that. Otherwise, you just crumble. So that's what gives me faith. We have a team that's built that way.
Talk to him.
We have a team that's built that way. We're built for this. And he talked about it there, man. And I want to make this very well known. The beginning of that statement, everyone listening to this, if you guys are a part of the Booner Path, all of that, there are going to be plays in this game, just like he said, that you're going to be like, oh, no, here we go. You're not going up against, the Carolina Panthers. You're going up against the San Francisco 49ers, one of the best teams in football. They're going to get a big play. They're going to go on a little bit of a run where they may take the lead and go up 10-3 or 10-7. That's going to happen. Or it might be the opposite way, and you do that, and you have to kind of keep the foot on the pedal. But that's just like this game versus one of the best in the league. Dude, there's going to be ups and downs, and there's going to be big plays you give up. And just like he said, like you're going to – it's about like how are you responding from that.
Yeah.
And I think that's like to win this game, those guys have to find a way to like next play mentality every single time.
Yeah, isn't it funny you're not talking about X's and O's and offense versus defenses? These boys will be ready. Like this team is not going to get intimidated by the big bad boys of San Francisco. And I say that in a very serious way. Like Dan Campbell's got this team not fearing anybody. They take everyone seriously, but they aren't intimidated. They're young. They're the 5th youngest team in the NFL. The 49ers are the 3rd oldest team, the 3rd most experienced team. They're not going in there feeling like they're going to get bullied. In fact, they're going to do the opposite. I don't know. Maybe they lose. I don't want to put that out in the ethos. Maybe they do, but it's not going to be because they weren't ready for this game or they're getting bullied by a team, a superior team. They lose because San Francisco beat them with some strategy, some play, something.
Yeah.
But they're going to be ready. And I wrote about this, actually. I'm going to throw up my article in the chat, so go check it out later.
Wow, look at that. That was great. Oh, man, it just came off. I just forgot it. Nick, did you have something? Because I had something in my head, and I just completely forgot it.
I wanted to
Doesn't
play
matter
this
if you have
drop
one ass
because
cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
It's never been more prevalent here for this Dan Campbell speaking to the media. I mean, every time you listen to him, you're ready to rock. Booner?
Yeah, no, it just popped in my head. It's the same, the conversation there where these guys are going to be ready. They're going to be ready to go. Someone asked him today about Jared Goff, and it was like, hey, do you think? And he's like, listen, I don't have any issues with Jared. Like, he's going to be ready to go. And he literally said this word for word. He said he's the least of my concerns. Like he is literally at the bottom of my list of concerns going into this football game. Jared's going to be Jared. He's going to go out there and compete, and he's going to help play winning. He's going to play winning football. He has had games throughout the year, but when it comes down to it in his career, games like this, he typically goes out and he performs. And he was like, Jared's the least of my concerns.
Yeah.
It's about keeping these guys, and it's about up here the whole game.
Yeah, he's everyone else's concerns, but he's not anyone on that locker room or Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I agree with that. My bad, Nick. Cut you off there. It popped back in my head. You want to hit that again?
No, you're all good. It's just every time Dan speaks, I'm more and more ready for this game. It's like you said, he gives you the confidence that you need as like a fan. I mean, I know we are 6.5 7-point underdogs, but it doesn't feel like that at all going into this game when you hear him talk. And I mean, I brought it up yesterday. I kind of want to get your thoughts on it again. I mean, going toe-to-toe with this team, do you think you can? Do you think you need to see a play like Michigan maybe doing a trick play against Alabama, or a trick play like the Lions did against the Chiefs, or another trick play like the Lions did against the Cowboys? Because we are on the road in this big of a situation, do you think that the Lions are going to have to pull out something behind their sleeve and turn momentum at any point in this game?
Maybe a fake punt.
Yeah, despite the fact that their pullout game is strong, I don't think they need to in this game.
Big pause.
No,
this guy, man.
The best part of these last two games.
My family watches this show.
So sit him down when you see him next. Tell him, explain what pullout means and how it can be misconstrued. Anyways, the last two games they've been so successful because they haven't made mistakes, and also I feel like Dan Campbell's made, I think, every single coaching decision I've agreed with, or it's been the smart or savvy one, including kicking that field goal on 4th and 2 on there was their second drive of the game. That's something.
He's made one decision I don't like
And I want to hear that in 1 second. But that second drive, normally it's 4-down territory for this team almost every time this season. But the first one, Gibbs got tackled after like a 4-yard gain. Then they tried to pass it to St. Brown. Oh, that was where Jared Goff had the missed throw. He almost got picked off by Jamel Dean in the end zone. And then the next play, David Montgomery got stuffed at the line of scrimmage. There wasn't a lot of rhythm with the offense at that point. So to sneak out of there with 3 points, I love that decision. I don't think he needs to fake a punt. I mean, we'll see, but I don't think he needs to. What were you referencing? His one bad decision?
One bad decision all year. At least that pops up. It's the 7 at the 7-yard line, extra point, going for it for 2 at the 7-yard line.
Oh, this year?
Yeah, did you say this
year?
year?
The last 2 games. This playoffs.
Okay.
Playoffs. But you're right. That will forever be in question a little bit.
Stuff like that, I think you do need to be smart with. And I think he will. The last 2 games, he's taken the points. There's been times watching the stream here with the guys, and typically in the regular season, he's probably going to go for it. And then he took the points a couple times, and sometimes at 4th and 1 with Craig Reynolds, you run the ball.
Genius.
Yeah. So he's made the right decisions in the right spots, and that's what you have to do, especially when you coach his coaching style. That's what you have to do to win games in the playoffs. So he's done a very good job. I did see here in the chat here, Nick, do you have anything? I'm about to go to break here.
Yeah, my thoughts on the situation is I don't know if it's a fake punt. I would say probably not on that, but maybe like a double reverse. Definitely being aggressive on 4th down around midfield per usual. He's done that all year. Don't stray away from it now that you're in the biggest game. Run behind your right tackle, Penei Sewell.
Love it.
And definitely I want to see J-Mo on a double reverse, or at least just one.
All right, we're going to go to break here. When we come back, I was looking for the chat in there. Someone said something about C.J. Gardner-Johnson touch or interception. We're talking C.J. Gardner-Johnson. We're talking Kendall Vildor. We're talking the secondary when we come back in this defense. Dan Campbell had something to say. And as well, Matthew Broder, Detroit Lions beat reporter.
What's up?
He spoke with them personally, had a conversation. So he's going to break that down for us when we come back. But Broder, tell us about it. Dispo.
Let's get high.
Let's get high.
If you want to experience Dispo Dispensary, a team, is that Bone Thugs?
No, that's don't tell me. It's gonna come to me.
Think of it. We'll remind Bone Thugs have some great
Styles
jams too.
Styles P.
Let's go. They're banging that at Dispo all day long. Probably they have an exceptional environment with an unbelievable atmosphere. They're also giving out 2 tickets to the big game. These 2 tickets include flight and hotel accommodations to Vegas. You just got to go to Dispo's Instagram at dispo.michigan and follow their directions in the pinned post. So let's get you Lions fans to Vegas. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists, and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. Wherever you're watching it on, hit the like button on the YouTube if you haven't already. And if you haven't yet, hop on the Booner path with us. Still figuring out this merch situation. Hopefully I get it before the weekend here for us, so people can start ordering some of it. But appreciate you guys supporting and tuning in. Again, hit that like button. We're getting into it right here. Broder?
Yes.
You had a conversation, and before we get into your conversation with that too, we have a Dan Campbell video. You did have was it like a personal conversation?
Yeah.
Not off record, but like just
Yeah, it's just a non-recorded.
Are you allowed to talk about it then?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna. Nothing is quoted. This is just conversation. It's just. I was talking to CD Deuce, CJ Gardner-Johnson, and Kendall Vildor, who sit next to each other in the locker room, and basically, the first thing I asked CD Deuce was like, man, what did it feel like walking that walk? Like, you picked off Baker in that second one. He's like, man, that's what I expect to do. Like that. And then I turned to Kendall. I was like, how much does that get you guys jacked up as a secondary group? Not only making the play, but even some of the talk of this guy right here. And he was right there when I said it, too. It was a friendly conversation. And Kendall told me straight up, he was like, we feed off that stuff. Like, that brings us all together. That gives us so much energy. Like, they're tough. He came from Chicago. He's played in big moments before, but now we're getting there. They look up to him so much. They're not talkers, but they want him to be himself and do him. And so they feed off that stuff. There's nothing negative about what he's been doing and what he's been saying. And the other thing that Kendall said, we were talking about, how you guys look like you have so much confidence. I asked him, like, you genuinely look like that out on the field. He's like, yeah, we feel that way. These coaches, we compete so often in practice. Like, we go hard in practice. And I was like, is that normal, like, around the NFL? You get late in seasons? He was like, I don't think so. At least in some places he hasn't played in the past. Even earlier in the season, they just kind of tone it back early. I don't know what the exact practice schedule is, but they go hard in practice usually earlier in the week, and then depending on how things are going, the coaches scale it back. But the point of it all, and he alluded to this, is the fact that these coaches, so many of them are former players. So many of them have been in this moment or been in these situations before. They see how the players respond to certain drills, certain things in practice, even when they know players aren't going to, raise their hand and say, take me out, I'm tired, or, I'm a little sore. The coaches can see that. They know how to judge. And it all leads back to Dan Campbell, knowing when to push buttons, when to pull back. And I think it's got them ready. And that, whatever we want to say about the secondary and giving up yards, and really that's just about all they've given up, They compete out there. Like you can't say Cam Sutton and Kendall Vildor aren't out there just competing. It might not always work out in their favor, but they're out there playing tough.
Yeah.
Like you guys see that, right?
And 100%. And I think too as well. Like I do notice. Like I don't know if you guys saw that. What is it? The Hard Knocks episode kind of clip came out just the other day again, and it resurfaced where Dan Campbell was talking about before one of the practices, where he was kind of going in to a situation. Broder, you're messing me up when you do that.
I'm a good faker.
You're a terrible faker.
Mouth faker.
I'm gonna talk because I'm watching your mouth move. I'm like, bro, stop doing that. It was messing me up. No, there was a conversation before. He did like a little before or after practice, and he said, "Listen, we're gonna hit in practice before the season. Like we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and it's all because like I know what it takes to prepare you guys. I know exactly what it takes, and you guys might not think that. I've played this game. I've been a part of it. Like I know what it takes for all of this to happen.
All I think about is you."
Yeah, and it's that exact speech, and that was the one he went into. So that's the one to me where when you kind of talk about that, to where Kendall tells you today, and CJ tells you today, and CD tells you today, where they're like, hey, yeah, the coach is like, we're prepared for this. Like we go all week and we go hard, and typically other teams don't do that, but as former players, as these coaches are, they know like where's that pushing point, where's that like what can we do, and if guys kind of like are like I don't want to, they could be like, hey, listen, no, we know what it takes to do this because we've done it, we've been to Super Bowls, we've done these things. So I have confidence in all of that. Dan did kind of touch on as well the secondary and the defense because he was asked about it. It's about a minute clip here, a minute and a half clip of him going into this whole give and take, letting yards go up, but we're going to give up something, or we're going to get stops here. He went into that, and it was very interesting how he broke it down.
So actually, before you go to it, think about, and I think you interpreted it like I did. He didn't actually say that, but there's a part in here where he talks about, giving a little to get.
Yes.
So I want you guys, do you guys think, is he talking to us directly about the cornerbacks or something else? How do you interpret it when you hear this from Dan Campbell?
Doing right now, and how would you describe the moxie within that locker room with that group?
Yeah, we're disruptive. We're aggressive, and we hit. And that to me has got to be what we're about. Those are the principles. Look, we may get hit on a couple of things, and I know for me, I'm willing to give up something to get something. And sometimes you got to, things may happen, but that's okay because it'll pay dividends by the time you hit the fourth quarter. And I think that's what we're doing. I think it is a salty group. They play hard. They're pretty sound. And we're competitive. I think AG's done a hell of a job of mixing things up. We've got enough coverage versus pressure there. We're starting to figure out, some of our better pressure players, guys that can do that on the perimeter. And I think you see our confidence going up. It's really gone up over the last 6 weeks. We started hot, and then we just kind of hit a rough patch, and then we came through it, and we're on an uptick right now. We got 2 takeaways the other day, which is huge, and that's got to continue for us. But I go back to the way we're playing there, the way we play on offense and special teams. It's the right recipe.
You got. He literally just what you said, and you talked to Kendall Vildor and CD about. He literally just said the exact same thing, the exact identical thing. And especially the last 6 weeks, the confidence of these guys of the secondary, even though they're giving up, and that's the crazy part is that they're giving up every week. It's 350 yards a week, 350 yards. Justin Jefferson, CD Lamb, all these different people, they're giving them all up. But guess what? Their confidence level is all the way up here. And they're giving that up, and it's because of the way that the defense is going right now, and the way it is they're giving up some plays, and it's what Dan just said. We'll take the give and take. Obviously, we have to put Cam Sutton on an island, or Kendall's going to have to be on an island at some point, and he might not be able to go one-on-one versus CeeDee Lamb or Justin Jefferson or Mike Evans because no one in the league can, basically. So you're putting him on that, but guess what? You're giving that up, but you're taking away the pressure on. You're putting the pressure on the quarterback. You're letting the safeties go out there and just free roam and go get picks, interceptions. Like that is what it's literally what he said there. But the number one thing to me, fellas, is the confidence level.
Yeah.
Because you can give everything up you want, but when you have that confidence, you're not giving touchdowns up.
Yeah.
That's where the bend don't break comes in. Is the don't break is the confidence. It's hey, you can get some on us, but we're going to get the stop and we're going to dominate you at the end of the day. And that's where I kind of go. That's what I take away from that one.
It was so funny because earlier in the day. Yeah, I think it was earlier. ML Football, one of the up-and-coming Twitter accounts covering the NFL, they put out something that was like, damn, the Lions have given up 345-plus passing yards in 5 straight games, including twice to Nick Mullins, and it started to blow up. But I was like, yeah, what is it? I was like, wait, what's the record bid in the last 5 games? They're 4-1, and that one loss was to the Cowboys. Also, what else did they do in those games? Week 16, they won, held Ty Chandler to 17 yards. They lost to the Cowboys, but held Tony Pollard to 49. They beat the Vikings. Ty Chandler had 69. Kyron Williams and the Rams, who they beat, had 61, and Rashad White had 55. So they're giving up a lot of yards, but they're getting that W.
Yes, it's the one dimension, putting teams in one dimension. I don't want to get into it too much because I think I have a video.
You do.
A little bit talking about making them one dimension.
Yeah, you got it. I got it for you.
He got it.
All right, yeah. Can we play that actually?
Yeah, we sure can.
Can we do that one? I can't remember in the show when we were going to do that, but this is a perfect time to do it now.
Usually you think of stopping the run first with an offense, but this is the most explosive passing game in the NFL in terms of big plays, yards after the catch. So, where do you focus your attention first?
Stop the run.
Still the run.
You got to stop the run because if you don't, they'll rush for 250 on you, and then they won't even worry about passing. Everything has to start there, and yes, they are. Look, Shanahan does an unbelievable job of. He's going to work one side and make you overreact, and then he counters off of it, and then he play passes off of it, and works the middle of the field. So. Look, you got your hands full in both regards, and Purdy does a hell of a job. They throw a lot of daggers middle of the field, and he does a hell of a job with touch, timing, rhythm. But we have to stop this run game. It just has to start there. You as much as you can, you have to try to make this team one-dimensional, and that's not easy to do.
Stop the run! That's all it comes down to, fellas. Stop the run. We've said it for weeks. We said it last week, KG.
Yep.
We said make the Bucks one-dimensional. Take Rashad White out of the game. Make Mike Evans beat you. The same thing you're going to do here in the 49ers is you find a way and do everything you can to stop Christian McCaffrey. Stop the run game. Take something away from their game, and their offense goes one-dimensional, and they won't be able to do anything on you. You will win the football game. You go to the Super Bowl if you stop the run. You have the third best rushing defense in the NFL. That's a fact. Go out there and prove it. I know it's Christian McCaffrey. It's the best in the league. Guess who the second best in the league was? Kyron Williams. And guess what you did? You stopped the run, and you made them go to Puka Nacua, and guess what they couldn't do? They couldn't beat you because of that. You go out there, you stop Christian McCaffrey, and you do everything in your power to stop that run game and make Kyle Shanahan make adjustments. Make him be losing heading into the fourth quarter.
Yes.
Because what's his record heading into the fourth quarter?
1-30.
1-30. You stop the run, you put them behind the game, and you go into the fourth quarter with the win, and you go win the football game and go to the Super Bowl. That's what it comes down to. Just like Dan Campbell literally just said, is the main focus this week is we're stopping the run. And you know what's the best too? Is I'm sure every week they don't go into every week going, let's stop the run, stop the run. No, they know with Christian McCaffrey they have to make him one-dimensional. And when you know that they're going into their best thing on their whole football team, which is the third in the NFL, is stopping the run, they're going to go out there and do it. And I promise you that.
Facts.
And McCaffrey will get a couple plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't fully stop him. You just got to limit him.
You got to limit him. And you have to find a way to stop him as much as you can. So I think that's the biggest key to the game.
To quote the legendary philosopher, Marshawn Lynch, and my dog Joshua Dunseth in the chat. I know I'm going to get got, but I'm also going to get mine.
Yeah.
It's sacrifice. They says that's the Lions defense, LOL. It's true. It's true. Go stop the run. You're going to sacrifice a little bit.
It's fine.
Cam Sutton guarding the number ones, 6'5", 225 boys, men. Sacrifice.
You've proven you can win football games like that. Go do it.
Let's do it.
They did it all year. They did it to the Dallas Cowboys, and then ended up
14
losing.
wins, baby.
Oh, yeah. Hey, when we come back, let me check with you. We're heading into the second hour here. What are we talking about? We're talking about this offensive weapons around the Detroit Lions offensive weapons, that is. Jared Goff, actually, he didn't get into it with the reporter, but there was a little back and forth, and it was really funny.
Oh, no, it was funny.
Yeah, it was a funny get
with
after
Wojo.
It. Yeah, I wasn't going to get into, but the tweet I saw, it was like they went back and forth, and I watched it. It was really good.
Yeah, there was no we'll get into it. Nothing bad, but it was funny. You guys got to see this. You guys got to see this.
Let's do that.
You want me to tell you about
Jack Labrador?
You want to retire some same old Lions? You want to just get rid of them? R.I.P. Because Sheila and Dan and Brad did that. You know what else? You know what else found the grave?
What else?
Same old rock, paper, scissors. Jack Labrador has revolutionized that tired game with 2 new symbols and a franchise-changing 3-point play. So discover the action at jacklabrador.gg now and find out why. Once you go Jack, you never go back.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Do you have football on the brain? This is an amazing time of the year for Lions fans. You better have football on the brain. You also got to have insurance on the brain. You got to shop Swiss Insurance. You got to shop it like a pro. That means going and finding Mark at SwissINS.com and getting some home and auto insurance at the very least. Check him out. Give Mark a call at 248-800-4177.
All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you guys are on the YouTube, hit that like button for us. KG, how many likes are we at?
102.
102. Let's get to 150 before the end of this segment here, please. That's everyone right now. I think we've got over 200 people watching. We should have over 200 likes. We almost have 300. Want to get into this, though, fellas. Jared Goff, and he didn't get into it. Wasn't an into it. It was just a back and forth. It was a funny conversation with what you said. Who was it?
Bob Wojnarowski.
Wojo. So it was with Wojo today at the press conference. And this is something I think we've talked about a little bit, is these weapons. And yesterday, Sam Flannel, did you have a comment there?
No, I was getting confused. They do have 14 wins.
14? I said 14.
Yeah, no, people were correcting me in the chat 15, but they were saying 15 after this Sunday.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, I was like, man, I'm losing it. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Thank you.
Yesterday, we had the conversation to where I felt like in the national media, and it's kind of what Wojo, the question he asked, but to me it feels like if you went around the country and just asked random people who watch the NFL, and you're like, hey, who has the most weapons and who has the most all-pro guys on their team? San Fran or the Lions? Everyone's, oh, San Fran. And it's just like, that's the feeling around being in Detroit. We know exactly what it is. And that was the comment that I made yesterday. Flannel did say it on the morning show today. It was like, oh, Booner made this. What I said was basically, nationally, people look at the San Francisco 49ers as a more powerful and more weapons and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Wojo actually asked Jared Goff about this. The response, it was
Spicy.
an all-time Jared Goff response, and I love it, because if I asked the same question, I'm sure he would have done the same to me. Here's Jared Goff, though, and courtesy this video is from Brad Galley as well, by the way. I want to make sure shout Brad that out.
Jared Goff's got a lot of really good players, obviously, but maybe not.
Oh, thank you.
What's that?
I said thank you.
You're welcome. Maybe not viewed, though, as the superstars like maybe the 49ers have.
All right, never mind.
But I mean, guys like St. Brown and getting you.
Yep. St. Brown was first team All-Pro, so.
Right.
So was Panay. Sorry, continue. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. But do you feel like this is a chance for more?
Yeah, I know what you're getting at. Yes, I do. I think we've got a ton of great players who maybe haven't had the national stage that up to this point that a lot of other guys have, and obviously they have a ton of good players as well, and a ton of Pro Bowlers and All-Pro players over there, and we feel like we've got a lot of good players too, though, like you mentioned, and excited to play on another national stage and be able to showcase that.
I didn't miss any, did I?
No, you got it. All good.
So you guys heard him there. They were kind of going. It was kind of a little joking situation where he was asking him about the San Francisco 49ers having all the pros, and he said he started off with, "Hey, you guys have a lot of dudes on your team." Basically, he's, "Oh, thank you," and then said, "But the 49ers."
Right.
He's, "Oh, I'll take that back then."
Just how he was able to interact, and I think he talks to Woj occasionally. He's on the morning show at 97.1, and Woj has been a personality in Detroit for a while, so
very long time.
So, and he's the most unique guy in that room. He's hilarious. I met him once. I haven't really interacted with him too much, so they have a little rapport. But just how he said it with some spice, but just a little bit of humor, and he knew what he was trying to say, which he got to. So, and it's exactly what you said yesterday. The Lions have some sneaky underrated weapons, or at least now that All Pro has come out, some of the angst that we've had against the award givers or award voters, whoever they may be in the various award settings, they got some All Pros now, and they're being rewarded. But it is the 49ers have the most in the NFL, I believe. It's either the 49ers or the Ravens, but they got dudes all over that offense and all over that defense.
Yeah, they do. And I wanted to ask this question too, because with that, this kind of came up as well, and I put it in our prep, and you guys actually had the conversation before the show about it. There's like this comparison going around Twitter right now to where it's, would you rather have George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk or Sam Laporta and Amon-Ra St. Brown? And these are all multiple All-Pro guys. So like Amon-Ra St. Brown, first team All-Pro. Sam Laporta, second team All-Pro. George Kittle, I believe he's first team this year. I believe he got first team over Sam Laporta.
Was it over Kelsey?
Yeah, I don't think Kelsey got All-Pro. And then I don't know if Brandon Ayuk got second team or if I think
he was second team.
Was he? So
Yeah.
second team. So you have a first team wide receiver in Amon-Ra St. Brown and a second team tight end in Sam Laporta, and then you have a first team tight end in Kittle and a second team wide receiver in Brandon Ayuk. And I want to go around the room here, and I want people to drop this down. I just want to hear you guys' thoughts on this because it actually is pretty close.
Yeah.
Because I came in here, I walked in the room, and you guys were talking about it, and right away I said who I thought, and you guys were like, I think it might be closer than you think. So, brother, I'll start with you, and we'll go around the room here. What are your thoughts on that?
I can't lie that there will be bias in this answer, and I'm going to go with Laporta and St. Brown. But to try to take some of the bias out, it's that they still have so much potential. They're still getting better. Laporta is a rookie. St. Brown is a third-year player. Like, that's crazy to see how good they are at this point in their careers. And this is, I hope this doesn't go off as slander. It might sound like slander for Goff and Ayuk. They're both incredible. I actually love Brandon Ayuk. The way he runs routes,
yeah,
he's special, at least in that category. But I'm definitely taking St. Brown over Ayuk. At this very moment, Kittle and Laporta are pretty close. I can see people saying Kittle's got the resume. So there's my bias. Laporta's he's a rookie. He's now second team All-Pro. I'll take that in his contract. He's a second. I'll take all that with St. Brown.
So I'll say this: the resume is a little different because if you look at Sam Laporta, 86 catches, George Kittle 65.
Well, that's resume for this year.
Kittle 1,000 yards, Sam Laporta basically 900, and then Laporta 10 touchdowns and Kittle 6. So in two of those main categories, when you're looking at these stats and everything, Sam Laporta has George Kittle. Yeah, this
Kittle's
year.
been All-Pro for many years.
Yes. I think
so. That's where I'm saying.
I think this is his second year as All-Pro, actually.
Well, he's been a very good player for many years.
Shout out,
but it's
not.
No,
and
that's crazy. It's close. It's close.
Yeah, I think Sam Laporta. He had it. I would almost say outside of yards, he had a better year.
He did.
When it comes out
100%.
to all around. And then when you look at Ayuk and Amon-Ra St. Brown had a way better year than Ayuk.
Oh yeah.
And maybe Way is crazy, and people go, Booner. I just think Way. He had 200 or 300 more yards. I think he had more touchdowns than him. And I could double check here with that because I have it up. He had 7 touchdowns. He had 3 more touchdowns, and he had like 30 or 40 more catches than him. So he dominated. He had a way more dominant year
as the number one.
So I would rather, if you're like right now, we're like, hey, who would you rather have going into this Sunday? Give me Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra St. Brown's the best wide receiver that's going to be playing on Sunday, in my opinion. Yes, he's the best.
He's the best wide receiver left in the playoffs.
The best wide receiver left in the playoffs. And then you could argue Sam Laporta as well as the best tight end left in the playoffs. Because a lot of people think he's the best tight end in the league right now.
Those two have had the 2 best seasons.
So you might have the 2 best weapons left in the NFL playoffs on your side in Detroit. So I'll take those all day. Nick, KG, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
Dirty.
Yeah, I'll rep. Yeah, KG,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, basically, y'all said it best. To me, it's easy. It's also biased, but definitely Laporta and St. Brown. Laporta and Kittle, that's kind of a wash right there. If you want to say Kittle's better, fine. If you want to say Laporta's better, fine. He's younger. Kittle has more experience, but Amon-Ra St. Brown is by far the better receiver than Brandon Ayuk, and that's no disrespect to Brandon Ayuk. He is a great receiver, but you can line up St. Brown in so many different ways. I know. I think Ayuk basically primarily plays out the slot. So yeah, for that reason and those reasons alone, I got to go with my guys, man.
Nick?
Yeah, I'm going to start this one out by saying I believe Kittle has the upper hand in blocking. And that is the only thing that he has on Sam Laporta. I think Laporta has as good of hands and obviously a bigger red zone threat. But I think the difference in this...
Congratulations, you just got Amon-Ra St. Clown.
St. Brown is elite. I think Brandon Ayuk is close to elite, but I don't think he's at the level that Amon-Ra St. Brown is. And what he means to Jared Goff in this game... Yeah, you can't even touch St. Brown's numbers or what he means to this quarterback, and that's why I would much rather have St. Brown on this team.
I like that, Nick.
Yeah.
I like that, fellas. With that, too, I do want to, and bro, I'm just going to ask you this.
Okay.
Is there like I was thinking about this today, is there like a, outside of these big names, I guess it's easy because there's not a ton of these guys on the team. I just wanted to like get a feel, and we're going to do X Factors and all of that at some point, but just like kind of an X Factor player outside of like a St. Brown or all these All-Pro guys that needs to have a big game. I'm trying to think because I have one in my head here, and I don't want to do that.
Do it. What's in your head? Speak it.
It's going to be Josh Reynolds.
I love that. What's wrong with saying that?
I just because everyone's gonna say J-Mo. Like, dude, and I love J-Mo's a dog, and he's your number 2. He could be your number 2, and it's just like every week I just keep hearing J-Mo, J-Mo, J-Mo.
I'm off it.
Josh Reynolds. As soon as you get off it, I bet you.
Besides a reverse.
That's when it's gonna happen.
But I just think Josh Reynolds, like you saw these last 2 games, like he has, like for you to win, he has had to make big plays, and he's stepped up the last 2 games, and you've won 2 playoff games because of Josh Reynolds. I think that's a guy like an X factor guy. Like we have these conversations, and Jared Goff's talking about they're asking about all these all pro guys. Dude, to win these football games, it's those second and third guys that win them.
Yeah.
So they can ask all these all pro questions all they want. We can have these conversations like we had yesterday. We could talk about who would you rather take, these all pro guys or these. To me, dude, when you win an NFC Championship game and you're going to win a Super Bowl, it comes down to the role players. It comes down to, is Josh Reynolds going to go out there and produce? Is he going to play better than Juwan Jennings over there? Like who's going to have the bigger game and who's going to go out there? And I think Josh Reynolds is the guy that steps up and he gets a couple catches for 40, 50, 60 yards and makes some big time first downs or a touchdown catch.
Yeah, I think that's a great call. Like, I'm glad you said Josh Reynolds and how you described it, sort of the second, third
Don't
option.
say J-Mo. I don't want anyone to say J-Mo. Everyone says J-Mo every week, and we haven't. Maybe if everyone doesn't say it, we'll see it.
Hey, he balled out that Bronco game.
He did. No, J-Mo's great. He had that huge catch last week as well for the first down. I saw the breakdown of the
massive catch in Dallas, 60-plus yarder to get us in.
He did.
The red zone.
Were you gonna say J-Mo? I'm sorry, bro.
Fuck yeah, I was.
Cut you off there.
Yeah.
Let him cook.
I cut him off. Like I knew he was about to say it. I just don't say it.
It depends how you frame the
Reverse
question,
jinx.
but I do think he's an X factor. I think he can make, even without 5 catches, he can make an impact on the field. I do think he can be he could be that X factor if he gets 3 catches and a touchdown. I think I called for a touchdown. Yes, bold predictions Wednesday. Yeah, I called for a touchdown. No, when did we do it? Yesterday or Monday?
Monday.
I said him. I said Gibbs is going to break one over 40, and I said CD Deuce is going to get another pick. But J-Mo, he can make a huge difference. He's that guy. But I do love what you were saying about those second and third type players, and I know you weren't going there, but from a running back standpoint, you take C-Mac over Gibbs or C-Mac over Montgomery, just 1 for 1.
2 together.
But I take that 2 together over the one any day of the week.
Okay,
maybe not any day of the week.
When I was typing up this prep, and I'm with you though. When I was typing up this prep, that exact segment, this one we're talking about now, it went through my head was, would you rather have one CMC or Jameer and D-Mont? And in my head, I was like, that's kind of crazy because CMC is the best there is right now in the game. So it's hard to be like, oh, I wouldn't want a CMC. But when you're talking about a balanced game and staying healthy and throughout the full game, not getting tired, all of that, being able to catch the defense off guard. Like when C-Mac's out there, dude, like kind of what's going to happen. Like like he's going to either get he's coming downhill or he's going to, if you see him a little route, he's going to break one.
They're going to find him.
Yes, so that. And at the same time, it's when he comes off the field, they have nothing else. Like, in my opinion,
Elijah Wilson hasn't done anything this year.
Nothing that's too even close to that level. With the 2 running backs in Detroit, they're both here. And Jameer might be up here, but D-Mont's right here as well. And then, C-Mac, you have it here. So that's where, I don't know. I had that and I left it out because I didn't know.
Maybe we talk about it more tomorrow?
Yeah, we could do that. Let's do that. Because I just didn't know if it was too crazy of a question to ask.
No.
But
were we talking just breaking down matchups and whatnot? But if you go player for player, I think it's a good conversation.
Jeez, KG.
Let's have it. What happened?
Jesus, KG. What are we doing here?
Hey, man, I'm just trying to help get the
show. Everyone hit that like button
that's funny.
Right now. I don't.
See, that's funny.
It's funny, but man, everyone, please hit that like button. I don't want to see that.
Thumbs up to KG.
Hey, we got to go to break, though, fellas. We got to hit break. When we come back. Jeez.
I like that.
I do. Hey, when we come back, what we're going to do, Frank Ragnow had some things to say about Jameer Gibbs, and Taylor Decker had some things to say about Aiden Hutchinson. Just talking about these young guys. Like these vets, kind of talking about these young guys. Love to see it heading into this championship game. But let me tell you guys about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. Over at Planet Fitness, you'll experience squeaky clean gyms, has tons of equipment, full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of that for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in the Metro Detroit area and thousands throughout the world. That is Planet Fitness, fellas, where your fitness
is essential.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Premier Pet. Give your pet the best. That means going to Premier Pet Supply, hands down, Michigan's best pet store. They give you all the convenience and cheap prices of the online and big box retailers with one major difference. For 30 years, they've been owned locally and operated here in Michigan. They got over 60 brands of food and nutrition experts to help you pick out what you need. You got to give them a find. You got to go get some food from Premier Pet Supply. Check them out, premierpetsupply.com.
All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for us. How many likes are we at, KG? 130. We should be at 175 here. Let's get those likes up, everyone. Everyone, stop what you're doing and hit that like button, especially if you guys see the pinned chat in there. Don't like to see that. Don't like that.
It's going to happen if they don't like the stream, bro.
Oh, the Pistons won.
Holy shit.
This is for real? This is not a replay?
No, the Pistons won.
This is happening.
Pistons won a basketball game.
Dude, Monty Morris, MVP.
How many wins is that? 2?
5?
5. But the only thing that matters is Monty Morris is 1-0 as
Let's
a
go.
Detroit Piston. Maybe this
Flint
whole entire season would have been different if he started from the bottom.
A Beecher
Now we
native.
do.
Flint
Yeah,
Beecher
exactly.
native, man.
27 more to go for my prediction.
Shout out my guy, Leek Ellison.
Yeah,
man.
my 35's looking brutal. Oh, Durant. All right.
All right, let's get into this, though. Sorry about that, Nick. Love you as always. I have 2 videos I want to play, though, because there's some interesting things out of these press conferences. Like I said, we have a lot of videos today, so we have two more here for you. What I took out of these, Broder, some of these vets on this team, especially this offensive line, them kind of embracing these younger guys.
Yes.
I think that helps out so much when you're talking about making these runs and going to win an NFC championship game, an NFC North, 12 wins, 14 wins now, counting the playoffs, winning 2 playoff games. All of that. What's that came from? It's been these vets embracing some of these young guys. And it starts with guys like Taylor Decker, Frank Ragnow. These are the 2 main ones. And KG, we'll do the Taylor Decker one first here.
Got you, yep.
But Taylor Decker, he even broke it down a little bit, and he was asked about Aiden Hutchinson because obviously he goes up against Aiden Hutchinson at practice all the time. I'm sure him and Panay, and they're always going at it. It's like iron sharpens iron. And that's exactly, I think, what Taylor kind of looks at Hutch like. It's like, hey, I'm a vet here. I'm going to be, and I'm going up against the number 2 overall pick. I'm going to make sure we're going head-to-head every day, and I want to make him as best as I can. And he's been doing that for 2 years now. So here's Taylor Decker just breaking down this relationship with Hutch and how he's been able to grow.
Yeah, I mean, I know coming into camp this year, I just noticed that he was just bigger. It looked like he added some good muscle. Like he's a lean guy, but he looked bigger. And I remember in the conditioning test, just watching him run, how he was moving really well for a guy that had added muscle mass. So I think he's added a good bit of power into his game. And then the one thing he's always had is just his effort is like second to none. He has incredible effort, and that's what you want when you draft a guy as high as he got drafted. And then on top of that, he's kind of the epitome of a professional. He goes about everything the right way. He's always going to be prepared. And then he's just a confident player. Confidence can't be understated when you're out there playing against, the best athletes on the planet. And he's confident that he can go out there and go toe-to-toe with those guys. So you can't say enough good things about him. He's a great teammate. I think he makes the guys around him better. And he just has a passion for football. He just loves it. And, he's a guy he's a Michigan guy. He's seen the Lions. I know he's only been here for a short amount of time on our team, but it means a lot to him, and you can tell it does.
All right, welcome back here. You guys heard Taylor Decker there. He kind of broke down the Aiden Hutchinson relationship, him coming into the team this year on a different level. Want to shout this out real quick. Shane Daniel donated $5. So like the chat so KG removes that pin. We don't need those comments anywhere near the chat. Everyone just like it, and then we'll remove it. I don't know what KG. You can give out a goal that we can hit. You could be in charge of that one there.
All right, we hit 160. I'll take it down. I want to make a realistic goal, so 160.
I like it.
All right, what are we at right now?
We are 145.
All right, 15.
15,
so we
baby.
That thing down.
So real quick, the Detroit Lions social team, which has been cooking lately, by the way, just throwing out some fire.
They have been.
They have this clip and they put on the top. It's got to be a national. It's got to be National Compliment Day when a Buckeye says this many nice things about a Wolverine. Thought that was kind of funny. It was also accurate what he was saying. Taylor Decker went to Ohio State. So did Jonah Jackson.
Yeah, he's a Michigan man, and he's ultimate pro basically.
Yeah, but those things he gets to go up against Hutch a lot in practice,
every day,
especially in training camp. So he knows what it's like. And he plays against some of the best edge rushers in the game. So to hear him say that is great. Obviously, he's going to say. He will probably say good things about his teammate, but when he goes into a level of detail like that, like seeing what he looked like when he came back from the summer, seeing what kind of condition he was, he got bigger and stronger, but he got faster.
Yes.
That means whatever he's doing, which is a lot of new things, yoga, Pilates, meditation, is really helping him. And guys, we're just seeing the start of Aiden Hutchinson. He is just getting started.
He needs to keep doing that, and that's why this segment, kind of these younger guys, like I wanted to kind of share that with Taylor, like a guy like Taylor Decker who's been on the Lions probably the longest tenured Lion, I believe.
Yes.
Him to be able to come out and say that about one of these young guys that's supposed to be one of your stars, a Pro Bowler, who hopefully next year is an All-Pro defensive end. Like him saying that about that guy who he goes up against every day, I think it speaks volumes. And then as well as to Frank Ragnow, who is probably one of the most beloved guys on this football team. He got asked about Jahmyr Gibbs, and not just Jahmyr Gibbs' running ability, all this, all that. He started getting into something that you don't think like a rookie would get, like that would happen, but he started getting into how Jahmyr Gibbs picks up blitz packages and how elite he is at small things that they do, which, dude, that changes everything. That's why if you're wondering why Jahmyr Gibbs is one of the best backs in the league right now, not just rookie but backs, it's because of stuff like this. KG, did you have that Frank Ragnow one?
I do.
Perfect. Here's Frank on that.
9 toes.
Frank, how dynamic has it been to play with Jahmyr?
He's special. That cut on that touchdown was one of the best cuts I've ever seen. He's just a special running back, and to think he's only a rookie, it's pretty cool. He's got that combination of that dynamic speed and those cuts, but he's also strong and powerful. He's a special player for sure, and he had some very impressive blitz pickups as well, which I like a lot.
I forget which play it was. I think it was the Buccaneers, and I think it was Levante David, but it was a quick short 3rd and 2 to Amon-Ra St. Brown. He had a slant over the middle. I want to say the third quarter. It was a big first down play. Jahmyr Gibbs had the most the best pass block maybe I've seen this year out of him. It was completely stopped. I think Levante David or maybe Shaq Barrett in his tracks allowed Jared Goff just that extra second to deliver the ball to St. Brown, who caught it with a guy all over him. And that's also, by the way, that's why we're seeing him out on the field more, and we've seen him more as the season's gone on. They trust him to do all that stuff.
Yeah, he's a rookie, guys. He's a rookie, and you have a guy like Frank Ragnow, who is an all-pro center, sitting out there giving him as a rookie, giving a rookie running back prop outs like that, not just for running. First of all, he said that was the best cut he's ever seen in his life.
You're talking about the Antoine Winfield one?
I think so. The one where he came off and bowed like.
Oh, I agree. It's a great one. I just can't get that Minnesota Vikings one out of my head. And I know a little different situation. This was probably a more important one. But anyways, that was a nasty juke. How he was able to just juke to the left, but also like gains. He accelerates so hard out of a cut.
Yeah, I think. These young guys. We see it in national news that these rookies have taken this team to a Super Bowl contender. These 4 rookies, and it's crazy to think. And these older guys know that, kind of giving them their respect and all of that. What is the vibe like when you're in those? Can you tell that they're like?
Yeah, like you can tell when a player doesn't want to say anything negative or doesn't have the glowing review to give about a player, they'll weasel around the question in a professional way. They won't say anything great, but they won't put them down. They'll just kind of say, something team related. The fact that both these guys talking about Hutch and Gibbs, they go into detail about specific plays, specific things other than their main job that they do, running the ball. He talked about pass blocking. Hutch, they talked about his conditioning, his work ethic, those things. That says they actually mean that. They truly see that every day, and that's what brings this whole team together. That's Decker talking about a defensive player too. They have so much. Their connection is so tight in that locker room. Nothing phases them.
Yeah, it's like the vets, the rookies all together. Like just that. Nick, do you have something?
Yeah, the thing I want to speak to the most is, it obviously shows like what kind of dedication and hard work that Gibbs has put in already just in his rookie season, and what he is in that locker room. For those vets to be talking of him like this, that means that they've seen the hard work that he's put in on Pass Pro specifically. If Frank Ragnow's going to shout him out in that big of a spot in championship or NFC championship in the pregame, I would say, or the pre-week, for him to say that glowingly about it, that speaks to the work that Gibbs has put in as an undersized running back too. He's 200 pounds. I believe that's undersized, but for him to step up like that, super strong. But no doubt, picking up a block like that is massive.
I just wanted to go over those when I was watching the press conference today. I'm sure when you were in the building there I could just like those two clips. Right away, I was like, dude, it's unbelievable to be able to hear that.
Yeah, I actually didn't see Taylor's live because they did it a little differently with all the media in there. They had those guys on the podium, and at the same time, we got to go in the locker room too. So, but you can feel it through the video. You can just hear it in his voice.
Shout out Taylor Decker. Shout out Frank Ragnow.
Decker, I just met her.
Oh, I see. These jokes, man. Over my head. All right, we're gonna go to break. When we come back, I want to talk about this. This is gonna be a kind of a little Nick conversation as well too here, because I want to talk about Detroit Lions fans heading over to Levi Stadium. And do you guys remember the first game in Kansas City? All the Lions fans.
Oh, I remember.
And then do you remember the Green Bay game?
Oh yeah.
And then the Tampa the Bay game.
Fans.
Oh yeah.
Are you saying it's gonna be Ford Field West?
I have a little a stat here for you guys. I'm gonna give you when we come back. I think we might be seeing something that you've never seen in the playoffs before. But let me tell you guys about a great defense, and then you will see a great defense from the Detroit Lions, and it is Guardian Alarm. They have customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians, they take the time to recommend security and automation solutions that are specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Give them a call anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian Alarm team member, they'll stay on the phone as long as needed. That is technology backed by the people, where your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people have been proven to care. Make sure for a great defense, fellas, call that number. It is 1-800.
Stay out.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays to join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with the best beef. We're talking prime beef, dry-aged beef.
Dry beef.
Wagyu beef. That's what we're talking about. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Just visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks or order them online at fairwaypacking.com.
Beef.
All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. Whenever you're watching, how many likes are we at over there, KG?
We are at 165.
Well, did we hit it? Oh, you took it down already. All right, cool.
As soon as 160 came, I took it down.
Let's get over 175 here before the end of this segment, then we'll get to 200. We're getting into this stuff. I saw this thing. I did put the graphic in there, but I saw a tweet that said, and I want to pull it up here. Hold on, Broder. It's talking about Levi Stadium, and it kind of going into, if you guys don't remember, every single basically road game this year that the Detroit Lions have gone on, it has been led by Nick. It has been packed with Detroit Lions fans. It has been basically like a movement, it feels like. And then I saw this tweet come across my desk today, and this is from Justin Rogers, Detroit News. He said, "Update from Vivid Seats." In quotes, now Lions fans are projected to take up 22% of Levi's Stadium.
Shit.
Up from 18%. We are sitting at Wednesday. 4 days still until Sunday, and the Detroit Lions fans have already bought up 22% of the tickets at Levi's Stadium. 22. That's incredible. That's a quarter of the stadium being in Honolulu blue. That has to be unheard of in the playoffs.
In an NFC Championship game, I don't know if I also saw, there were some statistics basically saying that doesn't happen. Like usually it's the under 10%.
Yeah.
Because they still control their own tickets. It's like if another team was coming to Ford Field, our guys and girls, our fans get first dibs. So the fact that it's already at that number and probably still climbing a little bit, man. A fourth of a stadium is a lot. Just because we had about 80% of Lambeau and 85 of Tampa Bay, maybe 90 of Kansas City. No, Kansas City was like 60.
And with that too, like the ticket prices as well. Like Lions fans are buying 22% of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The average sold price for the NFC Championship game, $941. It is 43% more than the AFC Championship game. $941.
Wow.
So that means they're trying to keep Lions fans out too. Like the tickets are expensive, $940. Lions fans are saying, nope, we're going.
Lions fans travel, man.
We will be there. So I think they're going to be ready, and I think it comes down to, I don't know. I think what's the percentage you guys think it'll get to? Can everyone in the chat drop where you think it's going to get to? I'm interested to see some of them, and don't do a crazy one. I want to see a realistic number.
Definitely in the 30s somewhere, you would think, right?
I think so.
That's where it'll end up.
I'm going to guess 30 minimum.
Minimum. Wow, guys. So you guys think it's going to be...
I think 25% is a pretty solid number right there.
Oh, extremely. For an NFC Championship game, it's like, I don't even think it was maybe like every 2 to 100 maybe in Ford Field, maybe 1 out of every 100 people. Like, it was insane in Ford Field. Nobody was selling a ticket. But a couple things to hit on here that I wanted to bring up for you guys. Just the amount of travel that this fan base has done all year. It's been absolutely incredible. But I want to throw it back a couple years for you guys and go back to the first game of the Dan Campbell, Jared Goff, Brad Holmes era. And who was that game against?
San Francisco
49ers.
The 49ers. And I was downtown, and I remember there being a whole entire parking lot of 49ers fans that took over a whole entire lot downtown Detroit. I remember we tailgate every single home game, and they were loud and they were obnoxious. So shout out every single Detroit Lions fan going into battle in San Francisco. These are some loud fans. They are going to come after you. Bring it as well. Get ready, Detroit Lions fans, because it's going to be a battle in San Francisco. We lost that game. It's going to come all the way around full circle, and we're going to win in San Fran. Let's go, boys.
I threw this up real quick. That's your picture, Nick.
Hell yeah. Raymond James Stadium, me and Big Ten Pops. I brought the flag in there to represent. That was a hell of a time down in Tampa Bay.
There's a lot of blue in that stadium.
Down in Tampa Bay. Yeah, you can't really see it as much in that picture, but the other sideline was majority of where the blue was.
Let's go. I love that.
So, Booner, if my math is correct, Lions fans spent just under $16 million so far.
Jesus.
To go?
Yeah.
Wow.
68,500 is their fans. A fourth of that, 17,000 times 941.
That's a lot of numbers.
Jeez, man. That's a lot of money.
And to put in the comparison, this season, Amon-Ra St. Brown makes $940,000.
Wow. That is crazy.
On the whole season.
Shout out St. Brown. But he does get a lot of endorsements, too. I see him on a lot of billboards now. He does endorse the Booner Path as well.
I got a confession. That Cure commercial was horrible, though. He got to get rid of that.
Which one was it?
The Cure auto insurance commercial.
Oh, it's
I can't
everywhere,
stand it.
though.
Shout out to Amon. I love you, but I hate that commercial.
The Cade one's brutal as well.
Man, both of them
they
are.
gotta
Yeah.
get some new writers on that.
There was a comment here. Eduardo O'Neill said San Fran was loud last weekend. It was, too. If you watch the game, like when things started to change, and George Kittle said it on the Pat McAfee show, and he was just like, every single play our crowd is into it. It's different than the regular season. Like it's a playoff atmosphere, and you're going into one of the best ones in the NFL. Like, yes, Ford Field is probably the best. You're going into the one right under it probably. San Fran's going to be ready to go, and you're kind of going into the hostile environment that you've been in the last 2 weeks. So you're kind of flipping tables there, and you're going to have to. I mean, 22% right now though for Lions fans.
It's great.
That's a game changer.
Yeah.
Not every NFL team will go on the road in the playoffs and ever get even like 5%.
Yeah.
And you're getting 22%, and that's 4 days out.
Levi Stadium, it's not. I think of San Francisco as kind of the rich and floofy, it's just a bunch of tech people or whatnot. It's a tough place to play. Like, there are people from all over California. There's some interesting groups of people. Some new old Oakland Raiders fans are now transplants. People root for those San Francisco 49ers way more than the Los Angeles Rams, way more than the Los Angeles Chargers.
It's a very historic franchise,
yes.
too, to where there's a lot of historic fans that have been there for a long time. Like that's what it is, and they're going to be loud. Like, if you watch last week's game, when they went on that run at the very end to go score a touchdown, it was loud in there. And Jordan Love tried to come back, and like they were strong. They were out there screaming, trying to get their signs, and they couldn't get anything out. So, yeah, I wanted to do that. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I hope we see a little Ford Field West Coast.
Yes, sir.
It's the only coast we've already taken over the West Coast, but we'll take over Levi.
Rams?
Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So if we beat San Fran, did we just beat the whole California? Who else is in Cali?
Rams. Yeah.
Who am I missing?
That's nothing. San Francisco.
There's 3 Cali teams.
Is there a fourth?
Yeah. Raiders in LA. I mean, LV now. So yeah.
How about that? How about you?
You can get the Cali sweep on Sunday, baby. I love that. That is awesome. All right, let's go to break. When we do come back, let's talk a little bit about this offensive line. I've got a question to pose to the people here, and I'm very, very interested to hear what you guys have to say. But, Broder,
I love it.
Tell us about Mark White.
I can do that. I don't know if they're licensed in San Francisco, but they might be. And if you want a house, you can use them to get your real estate needs. They are here, and they have a really, really good deal for you. They're offering to pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right. 5 tickets to the San Francisco 49ers Lions game, the equivalent. Check them out. You got to call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Where is the Booner merch? We're looking for it, but if you want to find the other stuff, are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? It's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com and click shop. Hoodies, tees, and hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs at woodwardsports.com and click shop and look out for that Booner Sports merch.
All right, welcome back. It is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys haven't yet, hit the like button. Guess what day it is? Hump Day! Let's go, KG. What great time.
That was a good time. That was a good job out of you guys.
Hump Day, though. It is Wednesday. We are 4 days out from the Detroit Lions taking on the San Francisco 49ers with a chance to head to the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl.
I've been thinking about winning this football game and then what the next 2 weeks look like. I cannot wait for this game. I cannot wait to see Sunday night. It is so long away. Sunday night is so far away. But we'll get there, fellas.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get there. Hit that like button, though, if you guys haven't already. What are we at right now?
We are at 174.
Let's get to 200. 26 more to go. We've got 275 people. 26 more people.
Smash it.
Sound like the Joker.
Yeah, that's a little creepy.
Yeah, that's what's going on there.
My bad.
Want to ask this question to the people. This is like the little question of the day here for you guys to kind of end the show before we get into mailbag.
A little QOD.
This is a Booner mailbag to you guys.
Okay.
Jonah Jackson out. I want to know where you guys all stand on that. And if this Detroit Lions offensive line with no Jonah Jackson will be able to dominate still at the same level they have been the last 4 weeks. Because, and if you say no, it's like, okay, things are going to look a little different because this offensive line has been a big reason why you've had success the last 4 or 5 weeks. We know during the season, I think it's 6 or 7-1 when this offensive line's fully healthy. No Jonah Jackson this week. Where are you guys at? Can they still dominate and do what they usually do, or is there going to be a little step back?
You can't. Well, you can say whatever you want. I do believe there's going to be a step back. It's just how far of a step back it is. I think Yodi having a week of preparation, knowing he's the starter going into this game, is huge.
Yeah.
It allows him and Frank and Taylor Decker to get everything in order. That whole line, I was talking about the left side of the line, allows him to prepare to be a starter versus preparing to come in on short notice for Jonah Jackson. Jonah Jackson's best trait is his his run blocking, and that's what we want to do against this team, against this front seven. And you got to admit, they have some, especially for the linebackers, but this front seven's one of the best, if not the best. Well, maybe the Ravens. It's one of the best they've seen all year. So losing him is a thing. It's something that you got to take into consideration. I do believe they can patch it up. They can get through 1 week. It's unfortunate that it's against one of the best teams they play all year. But the fact, like I said, the fact that Yodi can prepare as a starter with that offensive line, I think they can get through it.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like that, actually. Yeah. I think it's a similar thing. I think there's a little bit of, you can say there's a concern because it's not like you're just like, oh, no, we're going to be just fine. One of your best offensive linemen, you have the best in the NFL, and the guy's out. Yeah, no. But there's going to be concern. I saw someone in there say, no, they're going to run behind the tackles. They're going to find ways, I think. I think Yodi, though, I think he's going to be able to do a fine job just to contain a little bit. There's going to be issues, though, at the end of the day. Like, there's going to be a play here, a play there, to where the guard spot's going to get blown up. We saw it last week at the end of the game. We saw literally Yodi, and we saw that left side get blown up at the end of the game a couple times. So it's going to happen. I think it's about how do you scheme around it? How can you use it to your advantage in a way?
And or how resilient are you? And we know, what do we know about this team? They're freaking resilient.
They find a way, man.
Like, that's a thing.
They find a way.
This does concern me, fellas. I know I was joking around at break, like, what are we going to do? I'm at about a 7 out of 10 concern level because this team is 3-2 without Jonah Jackson. I mean, we still have a winning record, but 2 of those losses, Baltimore, Green Bay Packers, 2 teams that are in the playoffs. And the team that reminds me the most of the San Fran team with the built line, kind of the Ravens. And we did not show up in that game whatsoever, and it was on the road. So if you think about all those things all at once, Jonah being out does concern me because when this team's at our best, we are running that football. We are following, going within the tackles. And without a play action and Jared Goff, if he's back there like a sitting duck and we don't have a run game to go with it, it does concern me massively. So Yodi needs to step up in this game, and hopefully we can make something happen and be able to still run the ball against this stacked elite defense with Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, and others on that defensive end. So
KG, thoughts? Are you a little worried?
Will they dominate? No. But do they have enough? Yes, I do feel like they have enough. Now, in that Bucs game, I know Goff, he got sacked, I think, around 3 times. I expect about the same here, but they will get to him, unfortunately, just with Frank being hurt and with Yodi having to be in that spot. They'll probably get through a couple times, but as long as they can limit Goff being on his back and they can still create holes for the run game, I think we'll be fine. Frank is still there. He's a dog. He's going to give all that he's got, even if it's one leg. If his leg falls off, he's still going to go out there and be Frank. So you also have the other side of the line with Penei. So I feel like we'll be okay, man. But, you know, we just got to line them up and see.
There's a concept here, and I saw it here. Dan Orlowski put it out about 4 hours ago, and he broke down a little bit of film today, and it comes down, and he said basically this is why the Detroit Lions are going to win this football game, or if they are, it's going to be because of this. And it's called the pin pull, and I guess it's some sort of it's a run tactic to where you're obviously you have a wide receiver out wide, a guy like Amon-Ra, and he pins down and he blocks the receiver there, and then you pull a couple guard, tackle, whoever it is, you pull 2 or 3 linemen, and you have guys like Jahmyr Gibbs run through it, and he when he broke it down. The Packers did that all game last week for him. And you guys remember Aaron Jones, like he went off last week. Yeah. And that was where he said he feels like the Lions this week. And I think with Yodi in and no Jonah Jackson, I think it's a perfect time for this pin pull, hey, the Lions to really utilize this. They just saw the Packers have success last week of it because these secondary guys, it's easy to block these wide receivers and these secondary guys, or wide receivers, the secondary guys and the wide receivers to block them. I think that's what you're going to start seeing. Like you're going to see is I think you're going to see Ben Johnson draw not just that one, but just different schemes to put these guys in a position to where you're not putting Yodi in these. He's not a Pro Bowler right now. Like you don't want to put him in those spots, but you want to find ways to where you can put him in the best spots to where you're having other guys help. St. Brown help, JMO help, the tight ends help, different guys help blocking, so you're not just. That left side's just not on its own. So I think you're going to see a lot of that in the run game and I think they can dominate doing it too. Like, go if you guys when the show's over here at 10, go to Dan Orlowski's Twitter. It's literally like his 3rd tweet, and it says if the Lions win, it will be a large part because of this, the pin pull. Go watch it because it breaks it down very well.
He just trying to get back in our good graces, man.
Yeah, he is. I think he wants the. I think he regrets what he did, if I'm being honest. Yeah, because he did play here, so he is a Detroit Lions. Alum.
I mean, he ran out the back of the end zone, but we still love him, I guess.
Yeah, no, I still like Dan Orlowski, man. That week I didn't love him.
Do they have any any dermatologists on the San Francisco 49ers team?
I'm not sure.
Well, I know with all those pimples, you got to find out how to stop them, how to get it. Pimples.
Oh,
see what I did there?
You were just over there. Every time I say a new word or something new, all you go through your head, you're just dad joke.
Yes.
All right, let's go. Last break here. We'll come back. We'll hit mailbag, and we'll end the show here for you guys. Everyone, right now, start dropping those questions. Anything you want. You can ask me any question. Ask Broder any question. KG, Nick, ask him any question. We'll answer as many as we can for you guys. But Nick, tell us about Planet
Yes,
Fitness.
sir. Pull ups, lat pull downs, Planet Fitness. It's home of the judgment-free zone, where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness nearby. Check out Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Feel alive during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest New Year's sales event ever. Get the best prices on our huge selection of award-winning Chevrolets. Like this 2024 Equinox for $188 per month. Or this 2024 Silverado for $268 per month. It's the New Year's sales event going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Yes, yes, yes. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. They have 18 locations, so there's got to be a dealership near you. Just visit feldmanauto.com to find that location. Also, check out the Morning Woodward Show and Big D Energy every other Monday at their Novi dealership. Having us there is part of what makes Feldman Chevrolet the #1, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer. You good?
I blew my load too quick.
You good?
You definitely did.
You got your teammates back.
We got you
I'm trying
guys.
to do my best Broder right there.
Broder's getting to KG over there.
That's my guy.
Shout out.
That's a good
shout out
teammate.
to crew, man. Welcome back to Woodward Nights
Happiness.
with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network, on the Booner Path, whatever you guys want to call it. We are here. Hit that like button. Are we at 200 yet?
We are at 182.
If we hit 200, will you sing another song?
No, one of you will.
No, you said you would do this karaoke.
Not every single day.
Take me higher.
We can do a Creed break.
Nick, don't do it. We got to get to 200 before you sing it.
Why don't we do a group Creed break?
All right, we will. 200 likes, we'll do
215.
Higher, that song.
215.
No, 200. Let's get to 200. We can do it. 200. All right, let's go to the mailbag here. Drop those questions. Broder, I want this one for you here, Eduardo. This is an interesting one. I want to hear what your thoughts are. Purdy is a more mobile and insulated version of Goff. He said, change my mind. Thoughts?
Purdy's a more mobile and insulated. They're very similar.
I think they're very similar.
Yeah, Purdy's got a little
more experience.
He's a little bit more mobile. He's younger, but he's not as accurate. He could probably throw it a little deeper, but his deep ball isn't as accurate. But they have a similar setup in how their offense works. They got to, and I don't mean this in a slanderous way, manage the offense, but they both do it in an elite way. They both have been able to put that offense. They're the top 2 offenses in the league. And they got to get the balls in the hands of all these playmakers, all these all-pros, Pro Bowlers, whatever you think. The quarterback still has to make the decisions and get it to them.
Love that. Sarge said, how big will the special teams be in this game? Huge.
Massive.
I think huge. Like we've seen special teams mess up at some points through this year, and it almost cost you games, if not cost you games. So you have to be like field goal units, punt, everything, kick return, everything you have to be locked in on.
Yeah,
everything.
Packers probably win that game if they make that field goal.
Yeah,
they're not rushing at the end, trying to force it. It's
in
a
the
tie
playoffs,
game,
it is a very, very small errors. You have to lock in the playoffs, man. All right, I'm trying here. My chat just disconnected. It said.
Oh no.
Broder, do you have any mailbags here? My chat disconnected. I'm trying to get in.
I'm trying to avoid the chat right now.
What? I'm trying to find something.
All right, I got you.
Nobody. Booner, how does it feel to be lead the people on the path so far? Why does my internet keep going out? Feels great. The path is in a beautiful
Is this the
spot.
state of the path address?
The state of the path address. Listen, we are one win away from going to a Super Bowl. The path is his best. The Booner path is going to win a Super Bowl. We are literally a win away from playing for one. A Lombardi. See this trophy right here? We're a win away from playing for this. 2 wins away from winning this. You have think about. Can we just talk about how crazy that is? You have 14 wins this year already. You only need 2 more to win a Lombardi trophy. And in the NFL, anyone can beat anyone. That's crazy. I love the Booner path though, and I love all you guys.
I love you three
let's
too.
Keep looking here. Mailbag. Does anyone realize the importance of is it Ambry Thomas on JMO? Did I pronounce that wrong?
Yeah.
Ambry.
Was he like a 3rd string corner?
I've been saying it for 3 days. He said on JMO, so I want to know what you guys think will happen if we think we can get the matchup multiple times. Are you saying JMO's going to cook him?
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying.
Let's go. I've been waiting for JMO. I want to see a JMO in these big games. The playoffs, just pop, go 30-yard bomb, touchdown. Anyone else?
JMO? Oh yeah, he's gonna get a TD. I just told you.
I love Broder, man.
Yeah, I'm calling out a reverse 30, 40, 70-yarder. First play of the game. I saw somebody say it earlier in the chat, maybe flea flicker to open it up. I don't know if it's that early, but I would like to see something like that.
I won't predict it, but what I will say is that if you noticed in these last couple games, there have been times where Goff has tried to get the ball downfield to JMO. He just hasn't connected, either overthrew him or just didn't connect for whatever reason. But I encourage them to keep trying that, because eventually you are going to get one where Jared Goff lays it right in JMO's lap, and you just let the man work from that point. So let's hope we see it, man. I know we keep trying to call it, so I'm going to just stop at this point. But you know JMO, my guy. Waymo.
He'll go cook.
We always want to see Mo Waymo, so come on.
Waymo. The Waymo dance. I love it. Someone said here, Mason Leach, this is a good one actually. He said, Broder, and I guess this is for everyone here. I didn't know this, but he said, do you think Michigan players expected Jim to stay? And he said, by the way, they were reacting on Instagram. They're acting puzzled.
Yeah, so I haven't seen the reactions.
We've
been
on air since it got announced. We started the show.
My guess is it's a pretty similar situation, although they are younger kids or young men. It's a pretty similar situation from what the players are feeling with Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. Like, hey, there is a possibility. It's likely going to happen. But then when it hits you, I don't know. I'll give you a better answer once I do a little, once I see it for myself. But my guess is they saw this coming at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't.
Does anyone else in here, is chat working? My internet's completely out.
My chat's working.
Can someone ask a couple more mailbags?
Broder, behave yourself.
For that one that Broder kind of hit on right there, I'll do a deep dive into some recruiting stuff. I'd like to look at that.
As long as you don't say Hutch and Brian Branch deserve MVP over Goff. That's such a stupid thing to say.
Someone said Booner, how many is Paul Thomas said Booner, how many weeks until the mullet is in full form? I don't know. I think I'm almost to a point, like I'm not gonna change anything up until after the Super Bowl. But once that happens, I think I'm to a point to where it's just gonna get kind of not shaved, but just trimmed up a little bit.
Speak easy, shut the fuck up, dude. You don't know anything about me. I'm not playing a victim. You don't know anything about my life. So just leave the fucking show, dude.
All right,
it's time to
go. Woodward Nights. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow morning. Woodward Show, 8 a.m. Big D Energy, Ermanni and Edwards, Heavyweights, and Woodward Nights, 8 p.m. Make sure you guys tune in to everything. 4 more days until the Booner path really takes off. We'll see you guys at the end of the road.
See you tomorrow.
We love
y'all.
Love you guys.